the local story that's sparking outrage around the world. Tons of emails, phone calls, and Facebook comments. Debbie McLucas was asked to take down her American flag at work because it offended a co-worker. She joins me live in the studio right now, and we found out about the story because you sent us an email about this. Can you tell us what was in the email that you sent us?
I do know that I had written a letter to try to understand myself how this could even happen, and of course it went on to say, you know, the very flag that I was asked to take down is the very flag that gives people the right to object to it, the very flag that gives people the right to complain about our government and not be taken out and shot. The very right that gives us that we don't have state issue IDs. We could travel from here to Oklahoma if we want to on our day off, and we don't have to account to our government for that.
Now, you work for Kindred Hospital in Mansfield. The employee manual, does it have a policy against displaying the American flag?
No, it doesn't. Not one way or another. It doesn't say you can, doesn't say you cannot.
So this surprised you?
It surprised me greatly.
Can you tell me how that kind of went down? You had your American flag up inside the office. Here comes a supervisor, and what did he say to you, or she say to you?
Well, actually, I had the flag up. I was off for 3 days, and I went back for a meeting. And at that meeting, I was told by my immediate boss that the flag had offended several people and that it needed to be removed, and so they had taken it down. And I could certainly go to the supervisor's office and pick it up. So I went to my meeting because I was completely speechless, because again, I can't even begin to imagine why anybody would be offended by the American flag, especially on American soil. And so I went to my meeting, and then I went to the supervisor's office to get the flag, believing that it was still hung up. And instead, it had already been taken down, wrapped around the pole it was hanging from, and placed on the floor.
On the floor?
On the floor.
All right. Now, you said that your supervisor told you that several people were upset about this flag being displayed, but one of your coworkers has the most publicity, somebody that's not even a United States citizen, somebody that came to the United States 14 years ago. Did this individual describe what exactly about the American flag offended him or her?
No, because I've not been afforded the opportunity to ask them that. Because you know what? I'm willing to, even at this point, give that individual the benefit of the doubt that they maybe have some misunderstanding about our flag or our culture. I would really like the opportunity to find out exactly what was so offensive about that. And you know what? If they can't tell me, or if they are just, you know, don't want it around, then, you know, maybe they need to reconsider not being here.
Hundreds of emails, and getting up toward the 1,000 mark, literally, I'm not kidding, phone calls from around the world outpouring of support for you. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very proud. Proud to be an American, proud to know that the people of this country still have patriotism. It gives me faith that I think we are going to be okay. I know we're in some very hard times now, and economically and otherwise, but I think we are a resilient people. And it's that flag, for me anyway, that helps me remember why I'm doing what I'm doing and why it's so great to be here.
Husband's a veteran, your son's a veteran, your daughter is serving over in Iraq right now. She's in our chat room, and she's also watching live on the air right now via streaming video. You want to say anything to her?
Well, yeah, hi, Lillian. Yeah. And this is, I mean, again, it's for those guys, not just my daughter, because actually I have sent boxes. I don't know if people are familiar with anysoldier.com. It's a website. You can go and pick out a person based on their age, based on their rank, based on what service they're in, and you can send packages to them, and I've done that.
How do they all feel about this, your family members that have served or are currently serving? How do they feel about you getting this kind of treatment?
About the flag being removed, they didn't like it. Now how it's playing out, you know, I know our daughter in Iraq and our youngest son who lives in Lubbock, Texas, I mean, they both called me today and said, oh, you're our hero. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, I was even telling my husband, I'm really just a very ordinary person that for whatever reason, got put in this extraordinary situation that I had to decide whether or not I could live with. And I couldn't live with it. And so I just felt I needed to stand up and say, this is America. We are wonderful. And if you don't think we're wonderful, you don't have to stay here. You know, go where it is good for you.
Debbie McLucas, thank you for coming in and talking with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tracy?
Oh, wow. We have hundreds of emails and a couple we want to read right now if Debbie wants to listen, because we've received complaints all about this flag flap on our Facebook page. Javier Gonzalez says, this is crazy. You don't like the American flag? Please take the south exit to Mexico or the north exit to Canada, but please leave the country. Scott Dance writes, I wonder if the supervisor who placed the flag on the floor realized they were in violation of the law, and then went on to show the Title IV, Section 7 and 8B, which state the flag should never be allowed to touch anything beneath it, such as the ground, floor, or water. Hazel Cooper writes, we moved to the U.S. from Scotland 12 years ago. I am so proud to be an adopted American. This is an outrage. If you won't respect America and all the flag stands for, leave. There are thousands of people who would love a chance at the American dream. It's tearing me up. All right, folks also sounded off on our hotline tonight. Let's listen.
Hello, this is Edward Cleveland. I served in the military for 9.5 years. And anybody tells me to take down an American flag and they're not from this country, I'd have been given them a steel toe boot where the sun didn't shine. That's just wrong. I would have protested that right to the court.
This is Julia in Granbury. It is very apparent that the management of the hospital is super sensitive. Thank goodness this woman was wise enough to bring this ludicrous behavior to the attention of TXA 21. Thank you.
And as the lady alluded to, this was an email sent to us. If you have stories you think that are worthy of covering, please send that in. Thank you for all your comments, all your very thoughtful comments you sent in via email, via telephone, and your participation in this kind of weighty question.